Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are live on YouTube. Hell yeah! All right, okie dokie. Here we go. Sit back, relax, put Daddy to bed. You know why? He's gonna complain. Ow! Alright, get your goodies. Let's get this show on the road. Hoi! Hoi! Ho! Oh my god, oh my god. Woo-hoo-hoo. What's up? What's up? What's up? Wow. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, live on YouTube Friday night. Let's do this. All right. So we have changed, not formats, the place where we broadcast our show. So previously we were doing our show on Twitch. Long story short, the broadcast that we were doing 2 weeks ago, if you were tuned in, we were cut off at the very end. We were blamed for terroristic threats, and we were suspended, pleaded our case, indefinite suspension, so we got mad. So, long story short, no more Twitch. Fuck Twitch, okay, we're not going to talk about that anymore. Okay. Email us if, have questions about that, but we are here, YouTube. So, give us a bit of an opportunity to change up a few things and, spike up the show a little bit with some new and improved graphics. So, am I close? Are we doing this right here? Okay. So thank you to Angela and Gigi for coming together and coming up with all these great new designs and stuff for the show. So there we go. YouTube. Bada bing, bada boom. Bing bang. Okay, boys and girls. So, in just kind of piggybacking on the little statement we made earlier. So, the show that we did right before 9/11 was part of a 9/11 kind of tribute memorial, right? And so, unfortunately, the video was, of course, cut off, and it was never broadcasted, right? So, here we are on YouTube. We thought we'd give it another shot and not rebroadcast, but broadcast the show again. That didn't make sense. So we're gonna do the show that was abruptly cut off, and so yeah, there you go. That's it. And I'm all excited. It's a whole thing, and technical difficulties, man. Hey, man, it took. Oh my god, woo, working at the bugs, man. Okay, I'm going on too much. All right, so let's get into the show. All right, so we're gonna start with a little bit of funny, then a little bit of like serious, what the fuck, and then we'll end the show in a somber mood, paying tribute to the victims of 9/11 and their families. So, okay, so let's get this started. So again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Again, could be anywhere else, but you are here watching our little silly show. So we will be broadcasting again here on YouTube on Friday night, same time, 9 o'clock. Don't forget, before we get started, escuche. Look at these graphics, girls. I love it. Find us on YouTube, bada bing, bada boom. There we are. Okay. And, send us a little message. There's a Gmail, bada boom. All right, boys and girls. So let's get this started here. All right. Let's get with a little funny. If you may have heard, you didn't hear, there was an incident a few weeks ago about a plane from Barcelona that had to be turned back around and for an emergency. So if you got a sensitive stomach, if you got a stomach that's a little bit sensitive, I would probably maybe sit this one out, because this is a little gross. So let's take a peek. See, let's take a peek here. All right, so we're gonna start small with these few little articles here that we kind of nitpicked, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty. Oh, God damn it! Boom. Diarrhea all the way through the airplane. Flight diverts amid incident. Apparent diarrhea incident forces Delta flight to Barcelona to turn back. Delta flight returns to Atlanta after alleged diarrhea incident, September 5th, 2023. Incident. Oh my God. They call it an incident, an emergency. You'll see. Check it out. All right, let's Julio, where's number 4? Bada bing, bada boom, with all our new graphics and there we go. Yeah, headline from TMZ. Poopy plane. Video shows diarrhea aftermath. Shit-stained aisles airware. Airware. All right, Hood. We're finally getting a first look at the Delta flight that was covered in crap mid-air, and based on this footage, it looked like a hell of a mess. So this Let's see. Is this the news one, Julio? The video? Okay, so check these two out, man. The banter is ridiculous. Just check this out. Here we go. Oh no, one more. Sorry. Passengers on board diarrhea smeared plane shared a disgusting ordeal. It was dribbled down the aisle. Smelled horrible. Oh, that's why I'm sorry. I'm blind. That was the last one. That's right. Here's the it's smelled horrible. That's putting it mildly. Okay, I'm sorry. Here's the video. All right, check these two out, man. The banter is just yay. It's a little cringy. Here we go.
All right, if you have a sensitive stomach, a warning about this next story here. We're learning new details about what forced a Delta Airlines flight from Atlanta, Barcelona to turn around Friday night in mid-flight. I saw this on social media yesterday. I swear I thought it was a gross joke. No joke, but it is
disgusting.
Foul. According to an airline here, the passenger experienced explosive diarrhea all the way through the plane. The pilot reported this as a biohazard issue to flight control. The flight turned around over Central Virginia, returned to Atlanta more than 2 hours after its departure. Delta says the flight was delayed just over 8 hours and landed in Barcelona without further incident Saturday evening. The identity of that passenger was not released for them, thank goodness.
Well, there's a lot that was released, though.
Or whether they were on board when they actually landed in Spain. I don't know whether that person made the actual trip to Spain.
We didn't show it to you, but there's stuff all down the aisle.
You can find it on social. So
can you imagine 2 hours to get back to land, and you're smelling and dealing with that? Oh my goodness! I think I would have lost my cookies.
Someone else already did.
Yeah, just the other end.
Oh my gosh! It's a talker.
How many fucking jokes are they gonna make about the fucking thing? So stupid. Oh, yuck. Okay, that's gross. Shit. Shit. Get it. Oh my god. Oh yeah. All right, so check this out. Oof. So I think this next video is the pilot calling in the actual emergency over the to traffic controller or whatever the hell. Is this number 2 video vid? Boom.
Negative. It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta. Negative. It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta. Negative. It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta. Negative. It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta.
So the New York Post wanted to make sure that you absolutely knew what the pilot was saying by playing it 4-5 times. I don't know how many times they played it. There you go. So yeah, the poop plane. What's that? What? Excuse me. I'm what was that? The actual video of the inside the plane of the poop, is that hello? Is that where inside the plane of the poop? That we want to see that video? There's a video. Of course, there's a video. Burberry, hold on to your cookies. Okay, in case you didn't see it enough, again, they wanted to make sure that you saw what was on the plane. All right. Ding dong. Oh my. Ding dong. Fucking caca everywhere, man. What the hell? What was that? I mean, wow. That's again, caca everywhere, man. That must, man. I feel bad for that person, man. That's embarrassing. Okay, so hopefully we're live. So hopefully we're hearing the videos. You're hearing us. You hear the music. I think we're doing our best to bring you the show here. So if not, then we'll just make another one and we'll play it again. All right. So there you go. Hey. Oh my God, I'm so funny. Hey, snakes on a plane. Poop on the plane. No. So this next segment, man, is disturbing, man. It just goes beyond comprehension. Why people gotta do things to kids? You know what I mean? Leave fucking kids alone with, especially, let me back up, man. In the name of the fucking Lord, leave fucking kids alone. Son of a bitch. Spotlight. Ruby Frank, okay? The despicable human being. I can go on and on. But, so, we get a few videos. Of course we do. So the first one comes from, from TikTok. Okay, you'll see his name. I forgot his name, but he provides a lot of great content, a lot of great detail. Excuse me again. I'm so excited about the show. Hopefully everything's okay. But make sure to follow him on TikTok. He's. I mean, if you want detail about a great juicy story, he's got it. So let's take a look. We're gonna. Oh yeah. Ruby Frank. Let's catch up to speed.
So this nice Mormon family, they have 6 kids, they decide to become family vloggers. So they film all these wholesome vlogs with the whole family and they get really popular on YouTube. But then people started to notice they had a really harsh parenting style. Like sometimes the mom would withhold food as punishment.
I'm only gonna say it one more time and then you're gonna lose the privilege to eat dinner.
She also took away her son's bed as punishment.
The bedroom was taken away for 7 months and then you give it back like a couple weeks ago.
And then one night, their neighbors get a knock at the door, and they answer it, and it's one of the kids from the vlogger family. And he's 12, and he had duct tape on his hands and feet where he had been tied up. He also had open wounds, and he was severely malnourished. The boy had been tied up by his own mother, the family vlogger, and her business partner. And he was able to escape by climbing out a window and running to the neighbor's house where he asked for food and water. So the neighbor immediately called the police.
A 12-year-old male showed up with tape around his legs Thursday asking for help, said he was afraid, asking for police.
So the police show up and they find 2 other kids in the home the boy escaped from. They were his sisters. The youngest sister was 10 and she was also severely malnourished. So the police throw the mom and the business partner in jail, like straight to jail. They got no bail. And they charged him with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse. And fun fact, the business partner here is also a licensed therapist. So that's nice. But here's what's crazier. The 2 arrested women are business partners, right? You want to know what their business is? And I'm not making this up. They run an organization where they give people parenting advice. What the So this story blows up and it's everywhere, and YouTube immediately permabans any YouTube channel having to do with the family. They even made an official statement, which is crazy. But then the family's oldest daughter, remember they had 6 kids, and she's 20 years old, and she allegedly cut off contact with her parents last year. So she posts on her Instagram a photo of a police car outside a house with the caption, Finally. And she writes another post about how they've been trying to tell police and CPS about this behavior for years. Now the internet has a Google Doc going to archive all of the questionable parenting moments from the family vlogs, so the oldest daughter can use it as evidence against her mom. Holy shit, that story is a lot. Okay, really quick, let me just say that the boy who climbed out the window, that boy is a hero. I mean, straight up, get him a cape and a movie contract, because he is the real deal. Second of all, can we ban family vlog channels already? Like, I know probably not all of them are bad, but like, maybe there should be some kind of laws in place when it comes to people using YouTube to monetize their own kids.
Boom. So, was it Real Ray Williams? There it is. I think that's what it was. TikTok. Make sure to follow him. Awesome dude. Okay. Are we here? We're here, right? Okay. So let's see. Yeah, so that catches us up to date a little bit, okay? All right. So of course, let's take a peek into where are we, man? This whole new software is all fancy, man. Right? It was the fancy la chinga, and buttons and flashes and pinche lights, bit la chinga. All right, let's take a look inside the right here, inside the shenanigans inside the house of these fucking freaks.
They're gonna think you're torturing him. Stop it. I know you're not, but it looks like you are. Okay, Russell. I'm only gonna say it one more time, and then you're gonna lose the privilege to eat dinner. Chad, what are you doing over there? You no texting at the dinner table. No texting.
Let me see it. Let me see it.
I see it.
We should clarify that in our house, all our kids know that cell phones are free game for parents, so we can monitor safety.
Yeah, no kid ever said, "Yay, I'm so glad my parents read my text messages." Said no.
What is this? I really like you. Hold on.
I did not say that.
How do you work this stupid phone?
The only downside to giving your kids a flip phone is I swear I have to remember how to work it every time I go through it. Who are you texting?
No one.
Any girlfriend?
Whoa. I really like you. I saw you in my dreams last night.
I'm telling you, it's not her, it was her brother. Look, go down. She said, "I'm so sorry, that was my brother."
Did
How
she?
do I go?
I saw you in
Oh my gosh, sorry, that was my brother. What is the nature of your relationship with this individual? I mean, there's like 300 texts in here.
Do you like her, or do you just like her? She's a new friend.
That is really, really messy. I don't know.
I seen him with her, and he likes her.
Does she like you back?
Probably. No, she thinks he's annoying.
My bedroom was taken away for 7 months, and then you give it back like a couple weeks ago.
I don't think our viewers know that.
You've been sleeping on a beanbag.
I've been sleeping on a beanbag since October, and they gave my room back like 2 weeks ago. Oh, I'll give you the reason why I lost my bedroom. I think so. I think this is the reason. At least this is the reason that's been in my head. It's pretty funny, but now that I look back, I mean, it's pretty depressing.
No, we never told our viewers.
That I woke Russell up at 2 in the morning and told him that we're going to Disneyland and he has to pack. And he got up and made his bed all neatly and then packed all his clothes in a suitcase. And then he walked out the door and I'm like, Russell, he was like, what? And he's all happy. Has his sunglasses on.
Do you think it's funny? Because
and then I walk out.
If you think it's funny, then that was 7 months ago. Maybe you need longer without a bedroom.
It was not funny.
Russell got the big bedroom and Chad got the smaller bedroom. And Russell's bigger bedroom also had a bathroom. But what you guys didn't know was Chad didn't get any room. He didn't get anything. He was sleeping on the floor in the family room. Abby, we took the phone away from Abby in November.
Oh,
And
I also
and
know why.
you may never get the phone back.
Probably not.
Now I have no friends.
You can play with friends.
No, like I don't have friends.
I don't have friends either.
I literally like told my friends I'm not hanging out with them anymore
Because
they say some pretty messed up stuff.
I don't even know where they live. They're pretty far away.
So, summer goal, become the best athlete I possibly can.
If you cut one more thing in my house, I'm going to take the scissors, look at me, and I'm going to cut its head off.
Grandma will be so mad.
So what are you going to do?
Are you gonna cut anything else? No.
You promise? Look at Mama. I just got a text message from Eve's teacher, and she said that Eve did not pack a lunch today, and can I bring a lunch over to the school? This happens quite often when you're raising children, because I know that her teacher is uncomfortable with her being hungry and not having a lunch, and it would ease her discomfort if I came to the school with a lunch. But I responded and just said Eve is responsible for making her lunches in the morning, and she actually told me she did pack a lunch. So the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry, and hopefully nobody gives her food and nobody steps in and gives her a lunch. I'm gonna explain the rules to this.
7?
We're done.
Julie, stop. We need the homework.
So you're all like, what? I have your attention now? Is that it? You're all gonna listen? If you have something in the bag that you would like out, you can pay cash for it. So you learn the value of your items. Or you can give what? Dad, I'll let you take the conversation from here.
You can do an equivalent value chore to get it back.
What's it?
And whatever isn't claimed by the end of the day goes in the garbage.
A lot of innocent stuff, yeah, okay. But you can tell there's some crazy shit going on there, man. That mom, and something about the dad, you know, as weird as he was, I think he kind of booked it, because I think he saw the sign, and it opened up his eyes. Ace of base. There you go. So, oh my God. So there's a peek. There's a peek of kind of what was going on in that house. So her and the lover, alleged lover, I don't know, business partner, they got arrested, doing horrible things and schmackety, and she has a motherfucking balls to say this. Gall in the family. Disgraced YouTube star facing child abuse charges shockingly accuses own child of sexually abusing sibling for years in court. Oh my God. The disgraced YouTuber, who was recently arrested for aggravated child abuse, reportedly also claimed that one of her minor kids molested several family members and neighbors. Dude, come on, man. That's fucked up. Why the dude? That's beyond comprehension, man. Like somebody's gonna pay. You know, you arrest me, somebody's gonna pay. That's fuck. God, that's just, I don't know. I just, hey, man, you Oh my God, that's okay. So there you go. That's what was her name? Ruby Frank. All right, so there you go. Okay, boys and girls, let's take a little break here. So, of course, so on the show, we try to make our own music. Most of the stuff that you hear on the show is either made by myself or other bandmates and myself. So, a couple of new tracks, so we'll bring you right in a short momentito. Where's the graphic? Again, new software, getting the beep boop beep boo and the buttons, and we're all excited, and it's all great. Okay, YouTube, live on YouTube. All right, we'll be right back. Bada bing, bada boo. Whoa, easy, cheesy. The software. Whoa, what's happening? Everything's turning. What the hell? Whoa. Okay, we're back. Julio, what? Okay, it's all good. It's first show, live on YouTube. Things are gonna happen. Okay, if you saw a little arrow in the screen, technical difficulties, okay? We're still at that. We're still working at the little bugs, okay? Leave us alone. Okay, all right. Let's wind it down for the next couple of moments here. Okay. So, just to recap the earlier part of the show when we were talking about a certain platform that removed us from their services, whatever you call it. I don't know. I don't give a shit. This so the second half of the show, a lot of bad things happened. Sorry. A lot of bad things happened on 9/11. So, we're going to go over a few videos. And so, again, touching base again on early in the show. So, the last portion of the segment here is, pretty dramatic video. But it's what got us kicked off of that platform for making terroristic threats. I believe the thing was promoting ideologies of hate and terrorism and all this bullshit. And man, we were fired anyway. We were fired up because. Our show will never be that. Okay, there was never an intention zero to even fucking go there. So again, the algorithms, it all skewed over there. So unfortunately, it let us bye-bye. And it's all good because we're better off anyway. So again, very sensitive information, images, videos that we're going to see here in just a moment. So just keep that in mind. You know, people lost their lives. So we're going to start here with a little history. So if you're young, if you're not sure what exactly happened on that day, here's a little recap.
A huge explosion now, raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
The cockpit's not answering. Somebody's stabbed in business class. And I think there's mace that we can't breathe. I don't know. I think we're getting hijacked.
We have some planes. Just stay quiet and you'll be okay. We're returning to the airport.
If you're just joining us, you're looking at dramatic pictures of New York's World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan, where a short time ago we are told that a plane crashed into the upper floors of the westernmost tower.
I was somewhere between 74 and 72 in that stairwell when the second plane went through our building. And it went through our building between floors 77 and 82. So we were just a few floors below the strike zone. Never felt anything like that in my life. That building, that fire stairwell that we're inside, this concrete bunker starts to shake so violently back and forth. The handrails breaking away from the walls. And that's the chance we had for the first time to encounter the police and the firefighters and the paramedics from New York City and the Port Authority. Just the looks in their eyes. No words, just the looks in their eyes. They knew that they were going up and they knew that they were never coming back.
It looked like it was on purpose.
You saw a plane?
Yes, I just saw a plane go into the building.
Why do you say that was definitely on purpose?
Because it just flew straight into it.
I walked up to him and leaned over and said, a second plane hit the second tower. America is under attack.
Today we've had a national tragedy. Terrorism against our nation will not stand.
I was going to work, and when I heard this huge noise, I just get right away, get out of the car. Then I saw the plane was coming down, and around this area, the wing goes up and down this way. Then with the second, just crashed right away.
First, you hear the sound of the twisting steel and the crumbling concrete of what once was the South Tower, The building that we had been in just 8-9 minutes earlier coming to the ground.
My husband, Tom Burnett, he was a passenger on Flight 93 that morning. The phone rang in on call waiting. It was Tom. I said, Tom, you're okay. And he said, no, I'm not. He said, I'm on an airplane that's been hijacked. It's Flight 93 from Newark to San Francisco. He said they have already stabbed a guy, and they're trying to get into the cockpit. On his fourth and final call, he said they were waiting until they were over a rural area to take back the airplane. And as we sat there listening, I said to him, you sit down, you be still, be quiet, and don't draw attention to yourself. Well, he didn't listen. He screamed into the phone, no, no, no. If they're going to crash this plane, we're going to do something. He hung up the phone and led the crew and passengers down the aisle and into the cockpit.
United 9-3, have you got information on that yet?
Yeah, he's down.
He's down?
Yes.
When did he land? Because we have confirmation.
He did not land.
Oh, he's down?
Yes,
Down?
somewhere up northeast of Camp David.
The police officer told everybody to form a human chain, and we held on to each other, and he flashed the light, and he directed us to Building 5, and we went out Building 5.
Did you see people bleeding, and what did you see?
Oh, everybody could see. Do you want blood? Here's blood. Everybody's bleeding. People are laying all over the floor. It's horrible.
It was as though day turned to night. I'm sure you've heard the description already. It was unbelievable, like a war zone.
I felt horrified, because it's like you don't know what's coming. They kept saying, there's another plane coming, and all you hear was this rumbling. People was crying. People was jumping out the window. They was waving, like trying to like say, help me. Like you see their arms, and then you saw the man jump down, and he just, everybody was jumping. It was crazy.
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong.
So there you go. Little quick recap, man. That's so, you know, thinking back, you know, the popular question, what were you doing when the planes hit the towers? So I remember I was working for Marriott Hotels, Resorts and Suites at the time. And I was working, was it, yeah. So then in the morning, getting ready, turn on the radio, Howard Stern, New York, live broadcast, going through my ablutions for the morning. And so, there we are, whatever. And then, and you can find the video on YouTube, where, it's the 9/11 broadcast and how that kind of, broke. So, the cord. So I remember, again, getting ready, and then all of a sudden, either Baba Booey or somebody, says that, this looks like there's a plane that hit one of the World Trade Center towers, and then turn on the channel, and that's it. Boom. I'm sorry, no boom. Let's go back. I apologize. So then, that's when everything started. So, got ready for work, got on the bus, and, everybody was, talking about, and the plane's hit, and so got to work, and, that was, the talk, we couldn't, get our eyes off of the whole event. So, working for Marriott Hotels at the time, of course, one of the World Trade Center hotels, the Marriott Hotels, was one of the casualties there during that time. So it was a very interesting, time to be part of that, because of the communications that happened, from the CEO about what was going on and how things were, happening, and it's fascinating. So I think somewhere I may have a binder of all those emails. I'm gonna have to dig. As it's just crazy to be kind of right there, kind of knowing what was going on at the time, just because the Marriott, and they were sending us info about everything that was going on. So very sad. So that's up to date. We're gonna hear excuse me, my throat. So we are going to hear Melissa Doy. Melissa Doy was, I believe, on the 83rd floor of the number 2 World Trade Center, and she had called 911, and so this is the video with the conversation with the 911 dispatcher.
Mother of God. 8695, good morning, have a good day. Hi, what's your number again, please? 8695. I'm on the 83rd floor. 86 what? I'm on the 83rd floor. Tell me 86 what? 8695. 8695? She at the World Trade Center. Someone having difficulty breathing on the 83rd floor. Okay, ma'am, how you doing? Are they going to be able to get somebody up here? Of course, ma'am. We're coming up to you. Well, there's no one here yet, and the floor is completely engulfed. We're on the floor, and we can't breathe. Okay. And it's very, very, very hot. Are the lights still on? The lights are on, but it's very hot. Ma'am. Very hot. We're all the way on the other side of Liberty, and it's very, very hot. Any lights? You could turn the lights off? No, the lights are off. Okay, good. Now, everybody stay calm. You're doing a good job. Please. Ma'am, listen. Damn it, everybody's coming. Everybody knows. Everybody knows what happened, okay? Sure. But no, they had to take time to come up here. You know that. You got to be very careful. Very hot. I understand. You got to be very, very careful how they approach you, okay? All right? So when they come upstairs, it won't be worse than it is. Now, you stay calm. So how many people where you're at right now? There's like 5 people here with me. All up from the 83rd floor? 83rd floor. With 5 people. 5 patients. Everybody's having trouble breathing? Everybody's having trouble breathing. Some people are worse. And some people unconscious. Everybody's awake? So far, yes. But listen. Everybody's awake? Yes, so far. Conscious. and it's very hot there, but no fire, right?
I can't see.
No,
It's too high.
Very hot. No fire for now, and no smoke, right? No smoke, right?
Of course there's smoke.
Ma'am, you have to stay calm.
There is smoke. I can't breathe.
Okay, you stay calm with me, okay? I understand.
I think there is fire because it's very hot.
Okay.
It's very hot everywhere on the floor.
Okay. I know you don't see it, and I know, but I'm going to document. I'm documenting what you say, okay? And it's very hot. We see no fire, but you see smoke, right?
It's very hot. I see any air anymore.
Okay.
All I see is smoke.
Okay, dear. I'm so sorry. Hold on stay calm with me. Stay calm. Now, listen. The call is in. I'm documenting. I'm going to let those... Hold on 1 second, please.
I'm going to die, aren't I?
No.
I'm going to die.
Ma'am, say your prayers. And we're not going to... We're going to think positive because you got to help each other get off the floor. Now, stay calm. You're doing a good job, ma'am. You're doing a good job.
It's so hot. I'm burning up.
Okay. If you don't, the floors is hot and everything is hot. They're all their destinies. When you go up high, you get too close away from the smoke. Okay. I know you know. Hold on a second. 83rd floor, 3 people trapped. It's very hot on the 83rd floor. 3 people trapped. Having trouble breathing. It's very hot.
Wait, we hear voices. Help!
That's what I'm doing. I'm just letting you know. Okay. Hello, ma'am? Stay calm. Ma'am?
Help!
Stay calm. Just don't move.
Oh my God.
They coming through with you now?
Find out if there's anybody here on the 83rd floor.
Ma'am, don't worry. You stay on the phone with me, and I already
Can you find out if there's anyone on the 83rd floor? Because...
Ma'am, I already... Listen. Excuse me. I already notified the lieutenant, okay? 80, I notified the city. 80? Yes, Lieutenant 80. I already notified the lieutenant that there's 5 people on the first floor, right? Very hot and smoky. So they won't overlook you, okay, dear?
Can you...
I already did that,
ma'am. Line with you, please?
Yes, ma'am. I am going to stay with you. Listen. Take
They're here?
Are they inside with you yet, dear?
No.
Okay, stay calm till they get inside.
Find out where they are.
Stay calm till they get inside.
Karen.
What's the job number you have? I have 727. 727? Yes.
It's going to be completed. So...
Oh, whoa. Didn't mean to microburst. Oh my God, that's heartbreaking. Just to know that's that's what she was experiencing. I feel so bad for Melissa, her family. That's just, and everybody else. That's just an incredible situation to be in. It's unimaginable. So again, thinking of everybody who, was a victim, had family tragedy, family we lost. It's hard, man. That's hard. Okay. Just a little lost for words. It's just a little overwhelming. It's just, man, if you were, again, part of the, if you were there as it happened and everything, it's just, it takes you back, man. It's just like kind of almost like, wow, it's, not a lot of people can understand, So, this, third video is the making of the construction of the 9/11 memorial. Believe that, Julio? Yeah. All right, so let's take a look. go. Time-lapse video. That's pretty amazing. The time-lapse video of how they constructed all that. Sorry, look comfy. Sorry. It's I like watching those videos, the time-lapse. How huge project like that kind of comes together over time. So it's pretty amazing. Takes a lot of people, of course, a lot of construction. Okay, all right, boys and girls. All right, so this last video, excuse me. So again, this chair, I don't even know where I'm sitting. I don't know. All right, so this last video is I think probably the one that got us in trouble, and again, not by our fault. Okay, algorithms. Okay, so me and you are gonna hopefully we got this dialed in here. So we're gonna watch this video together here. It's again it's a pretty dramatic video. So again, keep in mind, very sensitive imagery. So again, many people lost their lives here, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so it's again, very dramatic video. Two towers after the two planes hit, and so we're gonna kind of go through here and watch the video. Again, very sensitive, so just keep that in mind. All right, here, let's pull this up.
We think that there was a plane that actually headed into that second tower at some point, and that's what caused that second explosion. We are unable to get close enough to actually show you or tell you what's going on at the ground, but an unbelievable sight here from above the Hudson River at this vantage point. Back to you.
Okay, we've told you that the airports in the New York City metropolitan area are closed down. We have told you that the 1, 2, 3, and 9 subway lines are shut down for the moment. Let us go to Katie McGee over at Shadow Traffic, because there has to be other huge traffic impacts at this moment, Katie.
Jane, this is enormous. Right now, all your Hudson River crossings closed. No one moving in or out of town at the Lincoln, the Holland, or the GW Bridge. I'm looking at the inbound Lincoln live from my vantage point right now. They're starting to turn buses around. I've not seen anything like this before. All bridges and tunnels, you're going to find closures. No one allowed in or out of the city right now from what we're hearing. You did mention the subways. 1, 2, 3, 9, and are suspended. Newark, Kennedy, LaGuardia airports closed to all air traffic at this point.
Katie, and any of the other sky cams that we have, do you see mass traffic confusion? What do you see on some of those bridges and tunnels at this moment?
What I can tell you right now, I'm looking live at the inbound side of the GW Bridge, and what we can see are the tolls. Everyone completely stopped. There is some traffic coming outbound over the span. I can also see people from the Cross Bronx heading into there, but right now no one allowed into town at all. At the Lincoln Tunnel, it is at an absolute standstill. I can see one bus on the outbound side trying to turn around and look like he's heading back into New Jersey from what it looks like.
Okay. Thank you very much, Katie. We stay in place, please, because we will be back to you shortly.
So I want you guys to pay attention to the edge here, where the middle edge of the building here, where you can see the fire right at the corner. So over time, it's kind of
well, again, can we reiterate what we do know? Because as you can imagine, this is pretty shocking to people in the metropolitan area to just even look at these pictures. What we have been told by eyewitnesses is that they saw apparently fairly large-size aircraft going into the first of the World Trade Center towers, the one on your right as you're looking at the screen. That was at about 10 minutes to 9. Then, about 18 minutes later, there was apparently an airplane, because we could see that from our own sky cams and our Chopper 4 video, that went into the second tower, and there was a resulting explosion there.
Let's go down to Joe Avalar, who's on the street downtown. Joe?
All right, we're down here in Soho, as a matter of fact. You're looking at a picture from Prince and Worcester Street, and on the ground you can see what has happened all over Manhattan. People are stopped and they're staring. They're looking up and they're trying to figure out all of what's happening. In talking to some of these people, I met someone, Philip Russo, who actually witnessed the whole thing. You were driving east on Bleecker Street, that's correct?
That's correct. I was driving east on Bleecker Street.
Have you step around this way? Put it in the background.
I heard what sounded like a jet flying very low. I looked up, I saw a blue and white jet, 2 engines, going obviously in the wrong direction.
You were thinking jet, you were thinking 737, something like that, a large jet.
A large jet, a large commercial jet, but with no markings that I could identify other than blue stripes on a white plane. It sounded too low. I looked up, it looked too low, going in the wrong direction, and I followed it into the building.
Flew straight into the building?
Straight into the building, dead on, disgusting sight.
Then you continued to look up at the building and you saw the second jet.
Well, then we were looking for about 5 minutes, just in horror at what happened, saw a second jet coming from the west that looked identical, both in color and in form, and it smashed right into the second building. Huge explosion on this side facing us.
Now we're all standing out, we're staring at the building, all of us, in horror.
Yeah, it's the only way to describe it. Horror, sadness, and disgust.
You talked about fear and being scared.
And what next?
And feelings of vulnerability.
2 huge planes crash into, the World Trade Center. What's going to happen next?
Let us go back and listen to what President Bush had to say a few moments ago. This was before this latest explosion at the Pentagon.
Today we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center. I have spoken to the Vice President, to the Governor of New York, to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence. May God bless the victims, their families, and America. Thank you.
We do not know anything about the people who were working inside those buildings. Obviously, it's a full work day in New York City, a Tuesday in September, and it's also primary day. So people were going to work as usual. Now, it happened a few minutes before 9 in one of the buildings.
Yes.
Well, one would assume that maybe some of those offices weren't quite open yet.
I would think so. A lot of people had not arrived at work, and we certainly hope that is the case. As you said, the first explosion, the first plane slamming into the first building, a plane that was hijacked from Boston, happened about 8:50, somewhere between 8:50 and 9 o'clock this morning. And it was 18 minutes later, we saw right here on our live picture from Chopper 4, the second plane, which witnesses have described as a full commercial airliner, slamming into the second tower. And you saw the dramatic explosion. And of course, just a couple of minutes ago, witnesses say that another commercial airliner has slammed into the Pentagon down in Arlington, Virginia. The U.S. Capitol and the White House have both been evacuated, and we understand that the White House had received a threat of a terrorist attack.
Now we're looking back at the Pentagon. Again, you can see the smoke billowing from there. We have no other information at this point about casualties or injuries or exactly what it was that smashed into the Pentagon earlier today. That happened, what, 25 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago? Something of that sort.
One of the other pictures we actually saw a member of the military in full fatigue.
Outside the White House.
Outside the White House, fully loaded and ready to go for anything.
We expect that Mayor Giuliani is going to be speaking shortly. As you can imagine, I'm sure there is a scene of much confusion now at downtown in Lower Manhattan, outside the World Trade Center towers. We have just been told that the Pentagon is being evacuated at this point. We're looking back at the World Trade Center towers here. The smoke continues to billow. The fire is clearly not under control yet.
Jane, we have another witness on the telephone of the second plane slamming into the second tower. His name is Robert Thomas from Brooklyn Heights. Can you hear me, Robert?
Yes, I can.
Can you tell us exactly what you saw?
I was on the roof deck of my building watching the fire from the first explosion, and I was on the phone with my parents in Florida, and I watched the second plane coming in from Staten Island-ish area, and I was telling my mom on the phone, that plane is too low. I can't believe it's that close to the building after the first one hit. And it was gray on the top plane. It was about the size of one of the shuttles, maybe coming from D.C. area.
The building there.
It was not a small plane. It was like a 737 or something. And whatever airline is gray on the top. And I saw it hit the building. I have a very good friend who works at Windows in the World, the pastry chef Heather Ho, and I hope to God she's okay today.
Have you attempted to reach her?
I tried to call her at home. The work number is busy, of course. I tried to call her at home and got her message.
Okay. Again, we've been talking about how the FBI is reporting, or is investigating reports that at least one aircraft, if not two, were hijacked earlier today. So from your vantage point, what you could see appeared to be the size of perhaps a shuttle aircraft.
Right. It was not a small plane. It was a big plane.
Okay.
I know people have been saying a small commuter, but it wasn't small. It was definitely it definitely held a good group of people.
Mm-hmm. Could you see anybody through the windows of the cockpit of that aircraft?
No,
or were you too far away?
It wasn't that close, but I could clearly see the plane coming in. I could clearly see it aiming straight for the building. It was in a long, swooping motion. It wasn't a jerky flight. It went straight into it.
Oh, my.
And it was it was so low, it was unbelievable to watch. I tell you what, I'm scared right now.
Thank you. We appreciate your comments, and we thank you very much for giving us this information, because, of course, we are trying to find out exactly what happened on this Tuesday morning. What we're seeing now is that there's information that the aircraft at the Pentagon crashed in a helicopter landing pad near the Pentagon. Again, the West Wing of the White House evacuated amid threats of terrorism.
As well as the U.S. Capitol and the State Department now.
Exactly. One of the planes, we're also being told that one of the planes that crashed into the World Trade Center had been hijacked after takeoff from Boston, as you've just said, citing a transmission from that airplane. Let's go and review for you exactly what has happened as a result of all of this. All airplane traffic across this country
yes,
has been grounded. There are no airplanes leaving or land. I would assume they can land, those that are up in the air.
Right.
But there are no aircraft that are going to be leaving any of the airports around the country for at least the time being. We do not know how long. It is virtually impossible to get up into this city right now. The bridges, the subways, the tunnels, everything is shut down. There are major traffic jams from people who were trying to leave or trying to get in. Obviously, it is a good day to stay put wherever you are. Obviously, the airports here are all closed. Right. The stock exchange has been closed.
Closed down. Subways, the 1, 2, 3, and 9, all train service in and out of the city is now shut down. And, not that in the big picture, this is really not that important at this moment, but you have to wonder if maybe the primary election will be possibly be suspended because of this.
Well, people can't go to their polling places.
You're absolutely right.
And I'm sure that's something that they will sort out later.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure not a single one of these candidates is worrying about that at this moment.
No.
We heard the president call this a terrorist attack. That was before the explosion at the Pentagon. So the president is being fully briefed. He said he had talked to the governor. Now, the governor has an office in the World Trade Center. He was in Manhattan, but we do not know where he is. President Bush has said he has talked to the governor, so we assume that he is safe at this point. We are waiting for the mayor to give us some kind of information about casualties or injuries this morning.
Okay, we have another reporter out on the street, Walter Perez. Can you hear us, Walter?
Here we are about 2 blocks away from...
It's spilling red.
Okay, 2 blocks away from where the whole thing happened, and this entire area has been cordoned off, and people that have been working in nearby buildings have been told to evacuate. That's what this mass exodus is to my left-hand side. To my right, we have 2 witnesses, and as we speak with you two, we're going to pan up and show a shot of what we see from this vantage point. First, Marna Ringel, and Marna, you work across the street. Tell me exactly what you saw on the street, and as you looked up, what you saw, because you said you saw the second one. Am I correct?
No, I didn't see the second one. I actually was coming out of the building, and there was maybe about 30 or 40 people at the bottom of One World Financial covered in blood. I did not expect that at all, and I work for Lehman in One right here, and a gentleman that I work with was on the telephone. He said, "What was that?" I said, he thought it was thunder. I looked over, screamed, "It's a bomb," because I saw a piece of the building flow down, and I think I scared my entire floor because I can scream pretty loud, and it was pretty bad.
Now, you mentioned that you saw people on the road outside of the building. Explain that scene.
I saw there's maybe about 30 or 40 people covered with bandages and blood. It looks like a lot of them were either on the floor of one of the exchanges. There's actually, oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
We're not sure exactly what happened, but it was another explosion on the far side of one of the buildings from where we're standing. The reverberation and another explosion on the right-hand side. Another building has gone up on the right-hand side of the road. People are now running down the street. We're not sure if that was another explosion or if that was advanced debris. Joining me also is Jim Plant. Jim, you're also a witness of what happened. Tell me exactly what you saw from your vantage point across the street.
I was just across Liberty and West here, and I saw the second plane hit the Tower 2. Looked like a 737. It hit a glancing blow. It didn't hit it direct. I don't know where the rest of the plane went, but it went in, fireball came out, and it hit lower than the first plane, which hit the upper floors.
Jim, thank you very much. At this point, as you can tell, there's absolute pandemonium in this area because of what had just happened. Exactly what, I can't confirm, but on the far side of the building, there seemed to be another explosion, and also on the right-hand side, there was also another explosion. We're not sure if that was extra reverberation from what happened at the World Trade Center, or if that was an added explosion. At this point, there's a lot of smoke, massive plumes of smoke falling from the building across the street. People that were running down the street or walking are now running away. We don't have any information as far as what the most recent reverberations were, but from 2 blocks away, you could feel what happened. We'll get more information and pass it along to you.
All right, thank you very much, Walter. Again, 1 or 2 more explosions again around the World Trade Center. We don't know if it was in the same building or adjacent buildings.
Can we re-rack that video that we were looking at as Walter was interviewing those people, because perhaps that will give us some indication of what this was. Obviously, there are buildings nose to nose down there.
Yes.
We have no idea if this was a third explosion or if it might have been something from the debris raining down from one of the World Trade Center towers. It appears to be to the south of those buildings, but take a look at those pictures, and that is quite an incredible sight.
Again, this all started this morning at about 10 minutes to 9 o'clock. We understand that a commercial airliner, maybe a small commercial airliner, was apparently hijacked leaving the airport in Boston, Logan Airport in Boston, and slammed into one of the towers. About 18 minutes later, a second commercial airliner, which witnesses tell us was much bigger, slammed into the second tower. From what we understand, down in the nation's capital, the White House, the U.S. Capitol, and the State Department have all been evacuated, and that the Secret Service did receive a very real threat that the White House would also suffer the same fate as the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, which has not happened yet, and we hope it doesn't. And, of course, all commercial traffic around the United States has been shut down.
Air traffic,
yes.
Commercial air traffic.
All commercial air traffic.
Joining us now is Jim Rosenfield, who's been up in the newsroom. Do you have anything you can add to all of this?
Well, just, in getting here to Rockefeller Center this morning to share with you, because you've been here in the studio, just the scenes on the street, people on their cell phones trying to find out what's going on, people calling loved ones trying to find out if they're okay. As you walk into this building, a lot of people out on the street not being permitted to go up and down through most of the elevators for security reasons. Obviously, as we think about the landmarks in Manhattan, people are taking very serious security precautions just for that reason. A lot of emotions I should share with you up in the newsroom, too, as we hear these just gut-wrenching eyewitness accounts of what these people must be going through, especially in the Twin Towers right now. Just amazing.
We have just been told that this, what we thought was another explosion was indeed, according to the Associated Press, another building that has either been attacked or exploded. So it appears to be separate from the two that we have already witnessed this morning. And if you take a look at this scene right now, the smoke that is billowing over Lower Manhattan is truly a frightening sight to see. Again, the part that I think concerns all of us is that we have no knowledge of what happened to the people who might have been inside any of those buildings. It's a normal workday, and although the first explosion came early, it might have meant some people weren't there yet, but I guarantee you that there are a lot of people who were already in those buildings.
Sure, in the Twin Trade Towers, a lot of state workers in those buildings who get there well before 9 o'clock. And as you come down some of the major arteries in Manhattan, you can just see this smoke from miles away. A very eerie sight as I was coming towards Midtown. You look up, and there's the smoke coming out of the World Trade Center.
How did you come to work today?
I actually walked most of the way because traffic is, as you would imagine, a complete mess. Emergency vehicles trying to make their way all downtown to Lower Manhattan. So it's difficult for anybody who's trying to get around. Bridges and tunnels, as you've been mentioning, are closed. So getting on and off the island isn't going to happen right now.
Okay, Jim, right now we have a terrorism expert on the telephone, Harvey Kushner. Harvey, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Harvey, this obviously has all the earmarks of terrorism.
Yes, unfortunately it does. And, you know, I've been in this business almost 40 years. And quite frankly, I couldn't have written a scenario like this. If I would have come forward with something like a possibility like this, they would have laughed. I mean, this has all of the worst case scenarios put together into one. This is monumental. This will be something that, you got Gary Condit in the news, you have OJ. This is something that we're going to be looking at for the next couple of years, unfortunately, and not just from a media perspective, but from the people who witnessed this. I mean, when you think of the psychological trauma this is going to cause to New Yorkers and to Americans, it's monumental. It's off the map.
It was off the map. Such an incredible, just mind-blowing. So there we go, boys and girls. So we know. All right. So keep in mind it's very sensitive subject. So we appreciate everybody that is involved with these videos, especially the hundreds of videos that are online. It's this incredible. I mean, I don't have to tell you. You can just go on YouTube and pull anything up. It's just some incredible, mind-blowing stuff. Okay, boys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. So again, you could be anywhere else, but you are here watching our little show. So we appreciate you tuning in. So again, we are live now on YouTube Friday nights, 9 o'clock. So catch us on YouTube. Okay, so we're gonna end the show there. We're gonna do some soft deuces, paying respect to the victims of 9/11. We won't be dramatic, and we'll do a little soft ending of the show. On behalf of everybody here on the show, Angela, Gigi, Julio, Chenklo. Sorry, right there. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight, and glad we could broadcast a little show. Hopefully everything turns out okay. You can hear everything, sounds. We'll get all that fixed later. So we just wanted to broadcast to make sure let you know we're still alive and still doing this thing out there for you. Okay, so again, thank you so much. Friday night, could be anywhere else. Soft deuces, and we are going to end the show just like that. We appreciate you tuning in, and again, on YouTube, Friday night, 9 o'clock. Don't forget, YouTube is where you can find us. drop us a line. You know where to find us. All right, you guys. Have a good evening.